We finally got it, the comparison that someone had to make, and I don't have the clout for it to be me. Now, guys, we had Trey Smith appear on the New Heights podcast with Travis Kelce and his brother being the brains of the operation, and we have to admit that. But Jason Kelce and Travis Kelce had on Trey Smith, and wouldn't you know it, the subject of Josh Simmons came up in an article titled Trey Smith Joins Travis Jason Kelce on New Heights Podcast, subtitled Smith discussed a lot of things but did not address his pending contract negotiations with Kansas City from Arrowhead Pride by Rocky Magana. We get the following recap of the bit where they talked about Josh Simmons. And look, something is going to come up in this conversation that we're going to talk a little bit about. I don't have the sort of sway to really suggest any of these sorts of things, but you know who would have the sort of understanding and knowledge to compare NFL offensive linemen between one another? Well, a former NFL offensive lineman, and one that's probably going to wear a gold jacket at some point. So we do have that here. Number one, rookie left tackle Joshua Simmons. If you're a Chiefs fan, you've probably been waiting with bated breath to see rookie first-round draft pick Josh Simmons in action. Well, if Travis Kelce's early reaction is any indication, the Chiefs may have landed the steal of the draft. During the podcast, Travis recounted going up against Simmons during practice when the rookie was filling in on the scout team. He was being a scout team defensive end, said the wide-eyed Travis, and I felt that man's hands grab me, and I was like, all right. Trey Smith, confirmed the assessment, noting that while he hadn't met Simmons yet, he'd already heard about his strength. I just heard that he is so strong, like unbelievably strong. Obviously, the talent is there. I think he's going to be a great asset on the team. But it was Jason who delivered the biggest compliment and the most reason for optimism when he said after watching Simmons' tape, he's the closest thing I've seen to Trent Williams. That next level strength and athleticism. Oh, sorry, I misread that. Let me read that again. He's the closest thing I've seen to Trent Williams. That next level strength and athleticism. Did I get that right that time? One more pass, I think. I don't know if I really got the inflection correct here. He's the closest thing I've seen to Trent Williams. That next level strength and athleticism. If that's true, Kansas City might be about to unleash something unstoppable. Now, we hear that, and it's just a little bit of exuberance from Jason Kelce. Travis is still playing. He wants his brother to get a ring in his final season. All of these things going on. He sees Josh Simmons, and he knows that if Josh Simmons is playing tackle, well, Travis Kelce won't have to chip as much, right? So he wants to hype him up. After all, Trent Williams is 6'6", 6'7", maybe 6'8". Trent Williams, 39-inch arms, I believe. Trent Williams on the bench press, Josh Simmons had an impressive number, but Josh Simmons did not put up the 44 reps that Trent Williams did on the bench press. Bench press, not the ultimate test of strength, but Trent Williams put up 44 reps on the bench press at the extent of those 39-inch arms. So there's really no comparison to be had between these players physically or on the field or any. I mean, well, let's just dive into it. Trent Williams here, these are his grades from PFF. 85.6 overall grade, absolutely incredible. 84.5 pass blocking grade, 81.4 run blocking grade, played 649 snaps this past season. The rest of the snaps were played by a Kansas City Chief this season, Jalen Moore. 5 penalties and 1 sack allowed. And really, as impressive as all that is, and it is impressive, those are elite numbers. Not a lot of guys have an 85.6 overall score. Not a lot of guys, even in just 649 snaps, allow just 1 sack. But maybe the most impressive thing about Trent Williams' game, and there's no real knowing if Josh Simmons could fill in this role, is that Trent Williams is the ultimate enforcer. People don't screw with the 49ers because there's a possibility that Trent Williams will see them. Trent Williams is probably, well, Myles Garrett's pretty scary. Trent Williams is probably the second scariest guy in the league right now. I've never seen Trent Williams swing a helmet at someone. But, let's just get into who it is that Josh Simmons is. We know that Josh Simmons got this comparison to Trent Williams. Trent Williams, however, is a unicorn in human form when it comes to the football field. But let's look at Josh Simmons' measurables. 6'4" and 7/8. I mean, that's about as close to a true 6'5" as you can get, right? 317 pounds. It's a decent weight. It's not a great big offensive tackle, but it's certainly not a guy that has to add pounds in order to step onto the field. 33-inch arms, that's really what you're looking for when you're talking about an offensive tackle in the NFL. That's probably the bottom of what is normally considered acceptable. 10-inch hands is a decent number there. I mean, it's a big hand, but is it all that big for an offensive lineman? Yeah, it's pretty big. It's a pretty big hand. 10 inches is a pretty big hand. And 33 reps on the bench press. That makes you a very strong human being. But not Trent Williams, right? I mean, Trent Williams was just incredible with these numbers. Well, I pulled them up. I've got Trent Williams' numbers here. 6'4" and 5/8 inches, so 0.2 of an inch shorter than is Joshua Williams. Okay, well, I mean, that's one measurement, right? But what about the weight? Trent Williams is a great big offensive tackle. He entered the league at 315 compared to Josh Simmons, 317. Now, Trent Williams does have the edge in arm length at 34.25 inches, 1.25 inches longer than Josh Simmons' arms. But Trent Williams had a 9.75 inch hand versus the 10-inch hand possessed by Josh Simmons. Now, Josh Simmons was still recovering from his injury, so he did not do the movement drills, he did not do the explosion drills, he did not do the speed drills, but he did do the bench press. Remember that number, 33 reps. Trent Williams, a guy who is often considered one of the strongest players in the league, 23 reps on the bench press compared to Josh Simmons' 33 reps on the bench press. So, yes, it does need to be said that while and whereas Trent Williams does have all of the accolades, does have all of the production at the NFL level, does have everything that you could ever want to see from an offensive tackle to put him in the Hall of Fame, he doesn't have the measurables that Josh Williams does. Now, would Josh Williams have put up a 4.88 40-yard dash? I cannot say. I think it's possible. I think it's likely Josh Simmons would have run a sub-5. Whether that would have been as low as 4.88, I don't know. Looking at him, I could imagine him being a 33, 34, 35-inch vertical guy. The broad jump is something I'm just not good with. And then the cone drills, I don't know. I really don't know. I do think that Josh Williams has exceptional mobility, but whether or not that is the same mobility held by Trent Williams, I could not tell you. But the fact is, will Josh Simmons be Trent Williams? No, we're not going to know that for years. We're not going to know that for years. However, we do know he does have the tools to be the next one of those guys. That's all I have for this video. If you like or appreciate what it is that I do here, hitting the like button really does help me out, as it tells YouTube to share this video with other Kansas City Chiefs fans. If you find yourself here by chance but not design, the Chiefs are the only thing I talk about on this channel, dropping multiple videos every single week. We are over 2 years of consecutive daily uploads. We're probably close to 3 by now. And as always, I hope to have you back for the next one.